All right, Toronto, we're back. Man, it's time for us to continue our Year 3 playoff run with the defending Stanley Cup champions, your Toronto Maple Leafs. Round number 1 up against the Buffalo Sabres. We got by them in 6 games. Kind of sucked that we had to go to that 6th game because we lost Jake Gardiner to an injury. We'll get to that in a second. But we're off to round number 2 for once again the Battle of Ontario. The Ottawa Senators up against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Last year we faced Ottawa in round number 2, the Battle of Ontario. We beat them. You know what? I can't remember how many games it took. It was either 5 or 6. So you know they're looking for revenge. I think overall the Toronto Maple Leafs are either 3-0 or 4-0 in the playoffs against the Ottawa Senators. So it's not exactly the Battle of Ontario. It's been the massacre of Ontario. But let's see what the Ottawa Senators are bringing to the table in year number 3. So their first line, Bobby Ryan, Kyle Turris, and Mark Stone. We saw this last year. It's a very good combination of a power forward, playmaker, and sniper. 90 overall, 88, and an 87. Second line, Hasselhoffman, Mike, 87 overall. Derek Brassard, 87 overall. And Matt Pimple, I'm calling him Pimple, 82 overall. So it's a very good second line with Hasselhoffman and Brassard. Pimple kind of brings it down a little bit, but he's a sniper. I'd imagine his shooting category is 4.5 star, skating 4.5 star. So he's in there to get some goals. And with those two guys, they can certainly set them up. So out of five of their top 6 players are at least 87 overall or higher. It's a very good top 6 here in Ottawa. Third line, you got Clark MacArthur, Jean-Gabriel Pajot, and Curtis Lazar, I'm calling him Lazar. 83 overall, 84 overall, and an 83 overall. Very good third line. And then the fourth line, Dzingel, 81, Paul, 80, and all 79. Look at all these guys, these names I don't even recognize. So there is the forward core for the Ottawa Senators. Defensively, Cody Ceci, 89 overall, and Erik Karlsson, the elite super Swede, man. Even 3 years in, he's still young, 28 years of age. He's got plenty of hockey left, and he's still 94 overall. So that's a very good top 2. Cody Ceci, I'd imagine, is a legitimate top 2 defenseman all by himself, 89 overall, along with Erik Karlsson. Power play, especially power play. We got to watch out for these guys. Dion Fagoof, Mark Methot, more of a chunkier, physical, slower second line with Dion Fagoof and Mark Methot, but it's a nice contrast to Erik Karlsson and CC's speed. And then Borowicki and Weidman on the third line defensive pairing, 81 and an 82. Not horrible. Their forward core is definitely better than their defensive core, except for Erik Karlsson. And goaltenders, look at that. They no longer have Craig Anderson. It looks like he rode off into the sunset last year with a retirement. He's like, screw the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't want to see that anymore. 84 overall for the Hamburglar. And Anton Khudobin, 82 overall. So I know we certainly have the advantage in the net. We got the defending Conn Smythe winner, a former Vezina nominee, Frederick Anderson, 89 overall. Harold Bluetooth, get it done for me, sir. Our lineup, our forward core, James Van Riemsdyk, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander. Very similar to their first line with the 88, 87, 90. We're like one stat point lower, so it's an even go right there. Second line, Logan Brown, Nazem Kadri, and Kasperi Kapanen. Remember, they're two 87s with the 82. I'd say it's probably maybe even, maybe slightly the edge to them. I like their top 6, man, and without Austin Matthews, we're hurting. We'll get to that in a second. Third line, Kirby Reichel, Cody Eakin, and Frederick Gauthier. Definitely third line goes to us, and the fourth line goes to us as well with Greg Belfort, Tyler Balsack, and Zach Hyman. Defensively, we got Morgan Riley, Vili Polka, so you got to give their first line defensive core to them with Karlsson and Ceci. They outclass us with both defenders. Connor Carrick and Jelena. Carrick is better than, what's his name, Methot or Phaneuf. Jelena falls right in there. It would be Jake Gardiner, but Jake Gardner's down with an injury, so we got Paul Postma and Matt Hunwick in there, okay? So that is your Year 3 Battle of Ontario rosters. Now, I kept on saying we'll take a look at that in a second. The injury bug. The injury bug for 2 players. Austin Matthews, he got hit with a concussion at the tail end of the regular season. I knew it was going to be rough. We're going to have to get through the first, possibly the second round without him. And then in round number 1, we lost Jake Gardiner in game 6 when we could have finished it in game 5. So that was a rough injury as well. Injured players. So it's saying Austin Matthews is injured for another 10 days, while Jake the Snake is injured for another 3 weeks. So We're going to have to get through the Ottawa Senators without Jake Gardiner, but 10 days for Austin Matthews, that's not horrible. I imagine, what, like 3 or 4 games maybe? So let's just do some math here, okay? So we're on the 26th, 10 days, so a week later on the 3rd, that's 7. 8 is the 4th, 4th is 8th, 9th, and 10th. So he should be back for game number 6, Austin Matthews. So we need to get 2 wins without Matthews in the first 4 games, or the first 5 games. Hopefully we can do it. Jake Gardiner, however, 3 weeks, down to the 3-1, down to the 10-2, down to the 17. That's 3. So you're looking at, if we get to round number 3, probably game 2, 3, or 4, something like that, he'll be back, okay? So the injury bug has hit us hard in the last 2 years, boys. Frederik Andersen, Austin Matthews, and Jake Gardiner. But we have a deep team, and I'm not too what's it called, scared of the Ottawa Senators roster. Yes, their forward core looks good, but I think we can score goals on the Hamburglar. 84 overall, that weak defensive core. Even though Carlson's 94, he's not a physical defensive player. So we got the depth, we can certainly score. We got home ice advantage. Matthews, Gardiner, Don Cherry up in the press box. Let's go, boys. First period. Yeah, okay, we're off to a 1-1 start. Dzingel, 4th line left wing, opens the goal scoring for the Ottawa Senators. But William Nylander, he ties the game up at once. Shots are 11 apiece. Second period, 0. Okay, zeros. 21-19 shots in favor for the Ottawa Senators. We got an even game right here, boys. Who's going to step up? Oh, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs with the 3rd-line center, Cody Eakin, getting one. Power play for Ottawa. They don't score, and James Van Riemsdyk comes out of the penalty box to bury one. The Leafs, 2 goals in the 3rd period. That should be all she wrote for Harold Bluetooth Anderson, baby. The guy is a former Conn Smythe winner. Last year's Conn Smythe winner. He would have had an incredible record had he played all 16 games. He only got 12 wins. But it doesn't matter because he's coming back for this year. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, they take game 1, 3-1. So let's take a look at these stats. That's huge, man. With those injuries, we need to get ahead in the series. So William Nylander really taking over this playoff run. James Van Riemsdyk with 2 points. Cody Eakin, Frederik Gauthier, Marner, Reichel. Very good, boys. Very good, very good. And the 3 stars... yeah, I figured that. Frederik Andersen, James Van Riemsdyk, and William Nylander. Hang on 1 second, boys. There we go. Much better. So, game 1 goes to the blue and white. Hey, Paul Postma's gained morale for being dressed. I needed those veterans, man. I wasn't holding you guys as scratch players for no reason. 82 overall, 81 overall. I needed these guys when the injuries came. And Paul Postma, good job, my man. Oh, crap. Hang on. Okay, so hopefully that stops happening. The Toronto Maple Leafs up 1-0 in the Battle of Ontario against the Ottawa Senators. Let's get to game number 2, boys. Austin Matthews is on the way back. We're going to have a decision to make. Do I sit him so that he can get healthy, or do we play him? If I need him, I'll play him. But if we can win games, man, I can sit him so he doesn't get injured again. So come on now, Toronto. Play for the injured players. First period, not good. 87 overall, Hasselhoffman on that second line gets a goal on Frederik Andersen. Second period, another 2 goals scored by the Ottawa Senators. Mark Methot and Mike Hasselhoffman. They got a 3-0 lead going into the 3rd period. This is not good, boys. Can we mount a 3rd period comeback? We're going to embarrass ourselves in front of our home ice fans against the Ottawa freaking Senators. Oh, it's going to get worse, isn't it? Mark Stone makes it 4-0. Power play for the Ottawa Senators. They got the referees in their back pocket as well. Shots are 30-27. This is a game where the Hamburglar outplayed Frederik Andersen. Don't worry about it, Andy. You know, last year he had a few bad games as well, but it was outnumbered by the games that he had incredible stats, and that helped him win that Conn Smythe. So 1 or 2 here and there, that's fine. It's all good. And we already have the 1-0 series. Well, we had the 1-0 series lead, so I'm not going to get too worried about that. 3 stars of the game, Andrew Hammond, yeah, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. What am I checking the stats? We had no stats. So we got a 1-1 series tie in the Battle of Ontario. We're going back to Ottawa with the 40-33-9 Senators. Are you kidding me? There's no way they can take it to us, man. There's just no way. We need our captain, Austin Matthews, back big time, though. So game number 3 in Ottawa. The series is tied up at 1. Come on now, Toronto. You got to come through for your fans. There's a lot of them there in Ottawa. First period. Oh, we got a goal-scoring show. And Frederik Andersen continues to drop the ball here in the last 2 games. They got Godobin in the net. They don't even have Andrew Hammond. They got an 82 overall goaltender in the net. Boys, We have to be able to score goals in this game. William Nylander, James Van Riemsdyk, that's good. Brassard, CC, Pajot. Maybe we injured their goaltender just like we injured ours last year. That'd be nice. Second period. Yeah, baby. Morgan Riley scores on Godot in less than, 30 seconds in. So third period, we got a tie game. Shots are 26-20 in favor of the Ottawa Senators. Come on now, Toronto. They got a shit goaltender in the net. Just put the puck on. Get some traffic. Get some rebounds, baby. Yes! There it is. Kirby Reichel scores from the half boards. Yes! Cody Eakin scores from the top of the circle. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, after conceding 3 in the first period, they get 5, and Frederick Harold Bluetooth Anderson shuts the door down. You know, that's a good game there for Frederick Anderson. It really is. He gives up 3 in the first. We get out of the first, trailing only by 1 because the offense helped him out there in the first, getting 2 goals, JVR and Nylander, right? And then we're trailing by 1 for 40 minutes left, and he just shuts the door down. Morgan Riley ties it up, Eakin and Kirby Reichel. And we get 3 unanswered goals right there. Beautiful job there, Frederick Anderson. Beautiful job. So the Toronto Maple Leafs, again, putting themselves into a good position when it comes to the injuries that they have. And will allow me a game to not play Austin Matthews. So Morgan Riley with 3 points, Cody Eakin with 2, William Nylander with 2, Kirby Reichel 2, James Van Riemsdyk with 2. Goaltender, why am I checking this? He'll be in the, actually, he won't be in the first star, will he? No, he won't be in the first star. That's all right. You're one of my first star, or one of my 3 stars there, Frederick Anderson. You had a good second and third period. So, game number 4. Will Austin Matthews be back for this one? If he won't be back for number 4, he'll definitely be back for number 5. He's not back for number 4. So the Toronto Maple Leafs have a 2-1 series lead in the Battle of Ontario. They're playing well without their captain. They're playing well without their veteran defenseman in Jake Gardiner. Continue to play well, boys, and I won't have to make any crazy decisions. So here we go. First period, Clark MacArthur against his old team. Gets one right before the end of the first period. Shots are 11-10. Can't blame Freddie for that. Second period, yeah, baby. We got 2. All right, so another late goal, which is a ball buster, but at least we got 2. Kasperi Kapanen. What a second period this guy just had. 2 goals scored. And the Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators, once again, I think that's the 3rd time in 4 games. I know it's definitely the second time in 2 games. Second time in 2 games, they're going into the third period with a tie. Can the Toronto Maple Leafs find another hero? We've done it. I think this is the 3rd time. We've done it twice already. Come on now, Toronto. I want to see my veterans. James Van Riemsdyk, Kadri, penalty kill. Good job, boyos. Oh, another penalty kill. The referees, we deserve a power play now. You know we do. 10 minutes left. We still got a tie game. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, Hasselhoffman. But wait, the game is tied by Mitchell Marner right after Hasselman scores. Hoffman. Oh my God, my names are all over the place right now. And we're going to overtime. So Mike Hoffman, Hasselhoffman, that nickname is just screwing me up, boys. He gets one with 7:33 left in the third period, but it's followed up by Mitch Marner with 6:42 left in the third period. Ties up the game, and we're going to overtime. This is the difference between going up 3-1 in the series and having Austin Matthews sit for game number 5, right? We'll still be in a good spot. Or the series becoming tied 2-2, and then deciding whether you sit Austin Matthews, you lose that game, now you're down 3-2, right? And this is a huge win right now, boys, so I need someone to become the hero. Resume the simulation. Come on now, power play, there it is. The referee's, penalty kill. What the fuck? Derek Brassard scores on Frederick Anderson, and the Ottawa Senators, they've tied the series up at 2. Man, that's huge. That is huge. Who took the freaking penalty, you moron? How many penalties are these guys going to get? Eric Jelena, 2 minutes for a hooking in overtime, and that was certainly, what was it, 17-15? Hang on. 17-15, yeah, 16-34. So Eric Jelena goes off with a hooking penalty, boys, and it comes back to bite us big time. The penalty, the power. What did I say about the power play? Erik Karlsson. So Kasperi Kapanen with 2 points. Bunch of players with 1 point each. Frederick Anderson, really, he's been dropping the ball the last few games, boys. I'm not liking that. Derek Brassard, Mike Hoffman, and Kasperi Kapanen. So the Leafs and the Senators are tied at 2s. Going back to Toronto for game number 5. And we need our captain. Simulate up to this day. Please be back. Please be back. Austin Matthews is available to play in the team's next game. Now, question is, I'm just going to continue for right now. Question is, do I play him and then possibly he gets injured again and then maybe he's out for the entire playoffs? but I need him. Because if we play and we lose, then we're down 3-2 to the Ottawa Senators, right? Now, these are the playoffs. I mean, you would play a player, but I'm just... If I sit him for one game, then he can become healthy and we can come back from 3-2 down, right? And you know what? No, I got to do it. I got to put the captain back in. He wants to play. Boys, I'm putting Matthews back in. Give me 1 second. All right, boys. So there he is, Austin Matthews. I'm not going to mess around playing him on the 4th line to cut his ice time so maybe he doesn't get injured again. I tried that last time. He still got injured. And I'm not using him as a 4th liner. I need him. I need that 91 overall 1st line center right now. We need to salvage this series. So now the 1st line goes to us, the 290s with an 87. We're all of a sudden much better with Austin Matthews in there, boys. Our power play, everything. Mitch Marner, our 1st line center, goes down to the 2nd line. Zach Hyman gets scratched. So, boys, we got a 2-2 series tie. Chicago, St. Louis is also at 2s, and so are the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. So, a lot of good competition here in round number 2. But now it's time for the veteran Toronto Maple Leafs, the team that won the Stanley Cup last year, to bring out what was special about last year right now, man. That adversity. We've already been through it. We can go through it once again. So let's go, Toronto. First period. Not good. Mark Stone, 1st line right wing. Frederik Andersen is certainly not stealing us games, especially in the last 3. 2nd period. Oh, whoa! There it is. All right. So Austin Matthews, our captain, comes back and ties up the game. Pajot takes the 2-1 lead. Logan Brown, back-to-back goals there in the 2nd period. So Kasperi Kapanen with 2 second period goals. Now Logan Brown, followed up by William Nylander. So we got some good depth goal scoring right there, boys. We got the routine in place. Resume simulation. So Frederik Andersen, I've been calling you out a lot over the last few games. This is a game where the offense came through for you in a big way. They got 5 goals now. Kirby Reichel on Godobin. Yeah, they must have an injury. I should be trying to... How do you even check the injuries for the opposing team? Clark MacArthur gets them back within 2. Come on now, Frederik Andersen. Don't screw this up now. The offense has been there for you. There you go. Cody Eakin. The offense is not letting this game... What the hell? Who scored that goal from center ice? Who was that? Kirby Reichel scored from center ice. I didn't even notice that. Godobin is dropping the ball big time. So hopefully it is Andrew Hammond out with an injury. That would be great. So team stats, we had a lot this game probably. Let's see. Logan Brown, he had 4. Logan Brown had 4. Austin Matthews in his return had 1. Let's see if he went down with an injury, boys. Hopefully not. 3 stars of the game. Let's see here. Logan Brown, yeah. Cody Eakin, 3 points. And Kirby Reichel, 2 points. Look at that depth. Look at that depth right there. That 3rd, 4th line, baby, coming through for us. Let's see. Austin Matthews, is he out? No, didn't say anything. That's good. Simulate up to this day. That's really good. Well, let's say now Austin Matthews is fully recovered. Yes! Austin Matthews is fully recovered from his injury, boys. Thank God. That was something that I had to worry about. But all those injuries that sidelined him for the season, they're all past now. He's got over his concussion. So Jake Gardner's down for 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, didn't say they're just going with Godobin instead of the Hamburglar. It's nothing to Jonathan Quick, 417, 418. I mean, no, it would have been somewhere closer because Hammond was in the net for the first game, was he not? So yeah, the last injury in the NHL was Jake Gardner, so that's still going back to Game 6 of round number 1. So I don't know, they're just not playing what's his name, the Hamburglar. I don't care. So here we go, boys. A game number 6 in Ottawa. The Toronto Maple Leafs have the chance, just like in round 1, to take it in 6 games and move off to that Eastern Conference Final. Let's just get it done, boys, and avoid any potential injuries. Come on now. First period, 1-1. Okay, Erik Karlsson, the captain, coming through. James Van... Another goal from... What the fuck? What's going on? Hang on a second. I need a drink. Oh, there we go. Goal from freaking center ice by James Van Riemsdyk. What the hell are the Ottawa goaltenders thinking? Shots are 13-11 in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Second period. Yeah, baby. Ville Pokka and Mitch Marner. The Toronto Maple Leafs are on a roll. Ever since Austin Matthews came back, man, we can't be stopped. Third period. Harold Bluetooth, you have it again. The routine in place. Good penalty kill, boys. The defense, the penalty kill, and the goaltending stepping up for the Leafs right at the right time. The Leafs are 10 minutes away from returning to the Eastern Conference Final. Power play. They get one. The dream. The veteran Nazem Kadri buries one, and that's going to be it. 6 games is all it took, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are off to the Eastern Conference Finals, boys. Hell yeah. All right, so I figured on paper their team did look weak. The big point was getting 2 wins before Austin Matthews came back. If we got in trouble in that series, I wouldn't have liked it. But those two first wins, Frederick Anderson, Billy Polka, Mitch Marner, that allowed us to have a couple of losses in there, gave time for Austin Matthews to come back. When he came back, we're now 2-0 with Matthews in the lineup, okay? So there it is, boys. We have taken the Ottawa Senators out again. What is that, like 4 or 5 all-time record between Toronto and Ottawa in the playoffs? Oh, God, they got to hate us. Every other series is at 3-2. 3 for LA, 3 for Chicago, 3 for the New York Islanders. So let's see who's going to take it. Now, Jake Gardiner gets... I hope a series goes to 7. Yeah, good. So 2 series are going to 7, which means that Jake Gardiner is going to have even more time to heal up there, okay? What is this? Cody Hodge, what is the AHL squad? Did they just lose or something? Hang on, let's see. AHL squad. Oh, shit, they're tied 3-3. Well, simulate day. Let's see what happens here. The current round of the playoffs is over. Would you like to continue simulating? Okay, am I going to get Phil Kessel? Phil Kessel, Crosby, Malkin, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ooh! No all-Canadian final this time. LA, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Toronto. We got some tough teams to go up against here, boys. Let's see. The Toronto, is it sim to the next game? Yeah. Have I lost that series? I don't think I've lost it yet. Let's sim to the next game. Let's see what happens with the AHL squad. So sim to the next game. Current round of the playoffs is over. That's probably the AHL. And we won. So the NHL and the AHL are both in the Final Four. So there is the Pittsburgh Penguins, boys. And also, let's just check this out again. Jake Gardiner, when is he going to come back? Let's see. Injured player, 7 days for Jake Gardiner. So that's... At most, that's going to be 3 games. I'm sure he should be back for game number 4. He might be back for game number 3. So let's just check this again. 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he should be back for game number 4. He might be injured for it. Might even be back for game number 3. Guaranteed back healthy for game number 5. So, boys, let me know what you think about our lineups, about our run this year. If there's any changes I need to make. The good news is that Austin Matthews is back, so we're going to go back with the lineups that we had during the regular season. Mitch Marner back down to that second line, even though he did a great job as the first-line center. But anything else, just let me know. And also, I want to see some freaking fan art. There'll be a link in the description. Go nuts with it. We got LA and St. Louis in the Western Conference, and you got the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Eastern Conference. So, boys, let me know your opinions, and I will see you in the Eastern Conference Final. Be sure to check out our website, 2bcsports.com, where the hockey talk continues. Find myself and others in the live interactive chat, or dive into the active forums to talk about sports and gaming. You can also find us on Twitch, where the live streams come to life.